Everyone. A friend requested that I make a video of how I apply my lemongrass spa sheer mineral makeup, with the disclaimer that I am neither a makeup artist nor trained in makeup application. We'll get started. I washed my face this morning with the lemongrass face wash and used a tiny bit of the microdermabrasion on these spots where I'm starting to break out. What can I say? Pregnancy hormones. Afterwards, I moisturized with the face cream with botanicals and the hydrating eye cream. I've already applied the mineral makeup primer and given that a few minutes to absorb into my skin. I'll start with my kabuki brush and my foundation. I just tap a little bit into the lid and then swirl around in a circular motion and then tap off the excess. And when I apply it to my face, I always put it on in a circular or rounded motion, always moving upward and outward. I prefer to start with foundation and then move on to concealer because I find that if I use concealer first and then apply my foundation, oftentimes the parts that I've concealed end up too light. I find that I get better coverage by starting with foundation first and then moving on to concealer. Of course, if you're using a cream concealer, it will be important to put that on before you put the foundation on. If you're using the powder foundation, then starting with foundation first, then concealer. For the concealer, it's the same method, a little bit into the lid, except this time I use my concealer brush and a little bit on the bristles because it's always easier to layer more on than to take some off. Oh, and always tap off the excess. Then I apply this just very lightly, inward to outward, inside of my eye to the outside of my eye, and then just a bit in the corners. And then if I had any obvious blemishes, I would put a little bit on there as well. And then after the concealer, it's time for eyeshadow and blush. So for shadow, I'm going to be using a neutral color. This is a pink called Seashell, and I prefer to go with a pretty neutral eye for a daytime. If you were doing an evening look or feeling fancy, you could certainly do something fancier than this, but I'm just going to tap a bit into the lid, use my shadow brush, and tap off the excess, and just sweep over my whole eyelid from inside to outside, all the way up to the crease. And like I said, this is my daytime look, so I tend to go for something pretty low-key. Now for eyeliner, I like to use the powdered shadow in a darker color with just a dampened liner brush. So I get it a little wet and then wipe it off in my hand. And then just pull a little bit onto the brush. I don't think I can do this one without a mirror. And then I just sweep across my eye, right at the lash line. Try to get it as far down into the lash line as possible. And then just even out if necessary. And I only ever do eyeliner on the top because eyeliner on the bottom can make you look really tired, makes your eyes look pretty heavy. So next I'm putting on the Lemongrass Black Mascara, and this is organic. All the way from roots to tips, and I will tell you that this mascara can go right into your eyeball and not even hurt. And I speak from experience on that one. The first time I applied it, I stuck myself right in the eye with the wand, and didn't make my eyes water or anything. So here's a classic Anna move of mascara on the nose. And then I do apply mascara on my lower lashes instead of eyeliner, especially since they're blonde. Brings them out a little bit. For blush, I'm using a color called Caramel Matte, and this is a blush or bronzer. And again, I use my blush brush and just a little bit off the excess, like always. And then I like to do just slightly in the apples of my cheeks, and then drag upward along my cheekbones to mimic the way that my face flushes naturally. I can see that I've still got that mascara on my nose. So I'll go back over that and with a little bit more foundation on my kabuki brush to just even that out. So all that's left then is a lip, and this is the trial size of a lipstick, but if you order the full lipstick, it comes in a regular lipstick tube. So don't let this little pot confuse you. This color is called Cocoa Berry, and it looks good on everyone. I've not seen it on somebody where it didn't look great, which is a pretty impressive quality in a lipstick, in my opinion. And again, pretty low key for a daytime look, but enough to add some color and take it up a notch. After I've got the whole face done, the next thing that I do is the finishing veil, and this is the pink veil, and think of it like the setting powder that you would see old-time movie stars use with the big fluffy powder puffs. Same idea. Again, I use my kabuki brush, get a little bit swirled on there, tap off the excess, and it goes all over. And then it's time for the very last step, which is my favorite part. It's the mineral setting spray. And this is a hydrating spray that you just spritz on at the very end. And it's really very refreshing and kind of a cooling sensation. And you use it to just set all of the makeup. And it also can be used anytime you feel the need for hydration. So I usually do about 3 or 4 sprays and then just let it dry. And that's the last step. You see that in 11 minutes, I've gone from moisturized, fully made up, and that was with explaining everything and a few mascara mishaps. So for just a few minutes a day, you can really take your look up a notch.